Students at Frontier Middle High School are working together to benefit people harmed by a recent orphan well explosion. Our Chase Campbell has more.
Late last month, an orphan well explosion in Washington County injured 6 people, with several being taken to the hospital by helicopter from Frontier Middle High School. Frontier freshmen Addison Edgar and Gabby Brunoni remember the day well.
They life-flighted people. They announced over the announcements to get all cars out of the parking lot, and then we heard the helicopters and that type of stuff, and I didn't really know what happened until I got home later that day and I talked to my parents about it. Whenever we were at school that day, we kept on hearing ambulances. So we were wondering what was going on, especially whenever we got back on the bus to go home.
To help the injured, Edgar and Brunoni pitched the idea of a bill battle, each grade at the school competing to see which can raise the most money by October 3rd. Edgar and Brunoni say they see the fundraiser as a way to show the school's support for the greater community.
Families were involved in it, and if that happened to my family, then I would have wanted someone to throw something like that. And I think it's a good way to get back to the community and just show our support. I'm just happy that we started and we figured out how to give back to them, and I think it really showed and improved our community.
Student Council co-advisor Amy Kilburn helped organize the bill battle after Edgar and Brunoni pitched the idea. Kilburn says she's proud to see the student body come together to give back to the community.
I love that the idea was from the students and it's really from their heart and they really wanted to give back, and how they pitched it to us was just that what can we do to help?
So far, Kilburn says they've raised a couple $100s. She says the winner of the battle will get to enjoy a pizza party with the principal. In New Matamoros, Chase Campbell, WTAP News.
Turning to the weather, it's another pleasant day.